We're so cool. That was awesome. That was the #1 entry in the Tennotunes Volume 3 contest, which wrapped up yesterday. Everything in the forums from first place all the way down to the top 30 you can check out. They are incredible songs. Hopefully you guys are as hyped as we are from that jam.
Yeah.
It was a jam?
Quite so.
Was it not a jam? How
Quite so.
That song? I don't know.
Yep.
That song's amazing.
Yep.
So
It's really good. It's been in my head for like the last 2 days.
Yes, it's an earworm, to be certain. Sheldon could not make it, so instead we have Hydroid pretending to be Sheldon. What do you think of that?
Poor Sheldon.
Steve has upgraded from pizza. Actually, I don't know if you can quite see the detail on this new hat, but there is an embroidered hot dog on it.
There's a hot
So
dog.
we've gone from pizza hat to hot dog hat.
Yep.
It's good. What's up, guys?
Got my fisherman chic.
You do. You do, actually.
Yep.
You do.
With your track pants?
Well,
Guess spearfishing would be better.
Warframe has fishing, as we learned from that song. So, but
These aren't track pants, they're athletic pants.
Oh, excuse me.
which is just mental. And it's just like, it's just insane. It's a giant, it's a She-Ra based helmet.
It's crazy.
So you can kind of get a feel for just how much detail.
That's mental.
Like, it's so good. And I didn't post this one on Twitter. I said more to come, and I wanted to give everyone a chance to see this.
Good use of lighting too.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's just really
Oh,
good.
wait till you see. I'm just going. I know. Look at Chad. It's just gonna be like, what the? It gets better somehow. Like I truly.
Sure.
Yeah, what the?
That's awesome.
But this is the 2B. So like So this is the 2B. If you're a fan of Nier, they made a giant 2B.
Huge fan. That's amazing.
So it's pretty insane that they're doing this. Super kick-ass.
Yep.
Holding up the dojo. Pretty crazy. And I got just see like up close, like what could this be? And
We
then
might be able to fix the lighting boundaries. I mean, in the name of
in the name of art,
amazing statues.
but this is
I
a
see.
giant
Yep.
Holy.
with angel wings looking down on
That's
you.
wild.
Isn't that mental?
Yep.
So this is a sort of robo
All right.
Valkyrie mech.
If the team's watching, I think we just need to extend the CSG boundary there, and we'll be set. That's incredible.
Isn't this mental?
Yep.
It's like straight out of Bayonetta
Yeah.
when you're fighting the. Anyway,
Spoilers.
So good.
so super impressive, and then there's
There's a lot of female.
lights to make it look like. And then they used the.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say other than this is the most incredible crap I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what
so
is
wild.
happening? So this robo
Yeah.
beast has been imprisoned. Yeah, so good.
So this clan is pretty
That's
serious.
great.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it's really good.
Like
Yeah.
the creativity to make chain links out of the Orkin.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so, oh my God. If you go to my screen, one thing that I posted on Twitter was the likely inclusion of separately moddable exalted weapons. So this is a huge discussion topic internally, and we're going to go through sort of what we want to bring you into the conversation we're having, because there's so much to consider with this. Venari on Korra was sort of the experiment of a separately moddable aspect to a Warframe.
Yes.
And when it comes to weapons,
Kind of cracked the door open, and then Jordan kicked the door the rest of the way open.
we love Jordan. So basically, with someone like Valkyr, someone like Excalibur, Ivara, they have exalted weapons. Atlas does not have an exalted weapon. His fists don't count, nor does Gara's one. So it's very distinct what is an exalted weapon and what isn't. So that's the first thing.
Should be.
Yeah, that's the first thing that people, I think, are confused
We
about.
are slowing this down though, how we roll this out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be creating assets to better support the customization.
Yes. So right now it's just, not just, but Valkyr's talons, as you can see, the icon is still placeholder. But we have the same concerns. We're not going to give you no polarities on them. We're going to try and find a happy medium. Polarities. They're not going to be blank. They're not going to have 0 polarities. We're going to try and give them somewhere mid-tier. Not every slot will be polarized, but it's obviously not going to be 0 either. We still don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to give you some. Duplicate mods will work.
Whoever changes the data last before we ship.
Exactly. It's the last one touched it. So yeah, duplicate mods will work. So if you have a melee mod on your...
That's how Venari works.
That's how, exactly. So Venari is the proper precedent there. They also will come auto-catalyst, so you won't have to install an Orkin catalyst in them. So Venari is also the precedent there. But where precedent breaks is these will not give you mastery is our current plan.
That's correct.
Because it's one per, the way it works.
It just blows up the mastery progression
Yeah.
because we're going retroactively going back and adding so many things.
Yeah.
So
So there won't be mastery. The mods will be multi-use, and I think that's kind of the like of all the concerns I saw players raise. Polarities, forma usage, duplicate mods, and mastery were the top concerns. Are you pressing the D-pad?
Just making sure.
But right, so that's sort of the forma aspect of it is interesting because yes, we will give you polarities by default. And right now, if you're using Mesa, you mod your secondary and you mod your Mesa, and you can sort of use those two things together to optimize your Peacemaker build.
Yep.
In this case, it's on paper. If you're modding, you don't need to. Well, you still want to mod your secondary weapons for other.
But they can mod it separately for a
Yes.
different purpose versus trying to make their exalted weapon better.
Exactly.
So this separation allows for greater customization of their build, but is also going to potentially increase the investment that is required for that build.
Yep.
Potentially.
Yeah, but the default ones we give you should have a pretty good baseline, usability. So it's a matter of balancing that out because Lois Gordills, who wants to know, are there any plans to rework more Warframes?
Always be reworking.
Always be reworking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always plans.
Yep.
As the game has evolved, we try new things and then we realize there's frames that are falling behind, and everyone has their own list of where they feel each frame falls, but definitely there's always plans to go back and look at older content to make sure that it is at least on par with the newer stuff or what the current meta level is, but also bringing it down balancing it out, trying to keep it so that all are viable at that end game stage. At least that's the goal, but it's becoming an ever increasing task as we add to the pile.
Yeah. And I think there was a really good counter take on that in question form from Green Garuda, who says, with Saren's rework, there's some fairly obvious power creep working its way into the game, but I feel that Saren's current power level is appropriate considering the state of the game and the need to farm late game content in order to get desirable rewards. In terms of adjusting to the power creep, are there plans to adjust future Warframes to meet this power requirement, or are we going to scale down enemies so that power creep doesn't continue? It's an interesting question because I do feel like when everyone
there's lots of broad things we can change that can either increase or decrease the level of power in the game. So, like touching the damage system is one way that we can drastically change what the actual power of the game is.
Yeah.
Changing individual warframes, changing different. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to kind of cut it up. So. Yeah. We're always trying to keep an eye on what the current state is.
Yeah, and I think the way we respond to changes that are, we don't let melee go through walls anymore. It's because that wasn't power creep. It was just power mechanic that didn't fit playing the game. So there's sort of a wide spectrum of ways that Warframe's power has just increased over the years. Yeah. And obviously it's because the players like to feel powerful. But on the one hand...
That's what we're selling. That's the power fantasy.
Yep.
So I think the idea that you're an all-powerful being, selling that fantasy to the players requires us to have the ability to take on that end-game content with.
Yes.
So.
All right.
So it's definitely something that we're trying to keep an eye on, but we're also trying to push forward as well on other aspects of the game. So.
I like it.
Yeah.
A Grenier melee weapon. So how does this, what stance does this use?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's the concept.
On the spot.
Yeah. You don't know?
A good one.
I don't. I think it's, I don't know.
I feel like that tape is gonna,
I can't remember. I would have thought you went fishing for all this stuff, so I thought you were...
I am but an arbiter of news.
Yep.
I don't know what it's going to use, Jeff. So that's the concept, and then there's the actual model, which is done as well. So this is just sort of like the library of good old gear that we have coming. I don't like. Is that a?
I genuinely can't remember what this one uses. If it's
like
the dual axe or if
no.
it's...
How could it? Oh, like a two-handed?
Yeah, but I don't think it's...
Heavy blade?
No.
Is it going to be a scythe?
I can't remember. It's a mystery.
Jeffrey. This is concepts for a sword and poignard, I think it was.
Very elegant.
Yes. Beautiful. That's concept work.
I like this.
And then the actual in-game with the tints, just showing. Oh, sorry, showing you a bit of.
Really subtle on the tints,
That's just showing you where they're mapped.
Oh, I see.
And then the actual. That's the mapping, and then
That's Reb's color scheme.
Yep.
That's,
Oh,
yes.
very nice.
So very return to Tenno tradition.
Yes, this is very Tenno, very
That feels like a heavy blade.
electro sword.
It's
kinda.
It's the tool wielding.
Feels like the other one could be a heavy blade.
I like the other one as a heavy blade. If we, yeah.
Oh, you have to have the debate.
And then the next
Scale.
one is
This is the heavy blade.
yeah.
Whoa. Kill a kill.
No.
Like Attack on Titan kind
I
of.
think it's more
There's, you know,
It
there's
is
like
anime.
or like Soul Calibur, like
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have Soul Calibur for
the
sure.
demonic
A
sword.
little thing in the middle there.
Yeah.
Does
The
it-
tentacle
Does
is-
it like
Wobble.
The
Like
tonsil.
what is that? Your
tonsil?
uvula?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that called?
Uvula.
Uvula.
Yeah.
It's not your tonsil, I don't
Yeah.
think.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
whack things with it?
There you go. That's our uvula sword. Ew. Ew.
Great.
Sentient. So
Well,
what-
yeah, it was actually inspired by the Eidolon.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was kind of the base of it. Because Keith was also designing some Eidolons for us, and he got inspired to kind of take a Warframe theme based on that. And that's where that sword design came with as well.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
So
it's like one of my favorite concepts, actually.
yeah, it looks super kick-ass.
Didn't we have a colored version of this too? I feel like there was a colored
I
version
never
around
saw
for a
one.
while.
No,
We know.
no.
Oh, I think we. I never. I couldn't find it, but now I'm. So this is sort of this frame in Captura on the
Yep.
plains of Eidolon, perhaps. You know.
And we did a custom idol for, Geoc did a custom idol for the big blade.
Yes. So this is his sort of trademark sword. This is the effects are still a work in progress here. Everything you're seeing is dev build whips. So beware.
Steve has been really picky this morning. It's looking pretty rad.
It looks super kick-ass. And then, as with all Warframes, we have.
I love it. I think I think we're close.
And this is the alt helmet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is beard as hair.
Beard as hair.
That's great.
Yeah, so this is him, you know, low light in the Lua nursery Captura tile with a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
That's nice. Really nice.
People are trying to decide between beard and hair now.
Yeah.
So
Super
I
sad.
make that
Yeah.
decision every day.
yeah. Yes, it's truly it.
Nope.
Yep.
It's between Jeff or the rest of the.
I didn't say turn them off.
But you can see his arm, so
No,
he's
that's too.
No, it
Steve.
looks like the rendering errors.
This is
That's two. They're
That's-
two.
that's-
yeah,
Let's
take
not
a
right.
look.
pop
That's not
out,
right.
pop out of the.
Yeah, that looks broken.
Yeah.
See when you popped out?
Yeah.
It's totally broken in there.
all right.
What's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
soft
So-
clip problem?
The depth, yeah.
That's
right.
depth buffer problem.
Depth of the problem. So there he is in game.
Okay.
So his name in code is Vlad because he is going to be sort of an affliction vampire themed Warframe. So the
Well,
idea.
don't look at me. This is you.
This
This
might
is-
be, again, work in progress, is that he has innate lifesteal proportional to how much energy he has. So you can operate with some better lifesteal based on your energy capacity. And his whole kit is built around his one, which is his basic marking. So right now you're going to see a familiar icon. It's Ash's. Oops, I died. Level 2. Well, it's hard to do it one at a time. Really good first impression, but we'll do it all.
You guys are gonna love this.
You're gonna love it.
Warframe.
They're level 200. I don't have anything on. So
Okay.
what you would do if you're great at playing Vlad is you'd put on your 2 first, which is your Sentient Pact. This means that anyone that damages you gets stunned, and you can get a free mark on them. So basically, you can decide to kill them or mark them. So for every attack that hits you, it uses charges, not duration. They get stunned, and you can play with them, you can kill them, or you can mark them for free. So marking as your first ability costs energy, but if you get a mark off on a stunned enemy, it's free. So while enemies are marked, they can't take damage, much like Nick's mind control target. But the way this affliction works, much like vampirism, is it builds. So you can turn your mindless drones
I
in.
like that you keep referring to vampirism like it's a real thing.
It is a real thing. So
Much like
Yes. Much like logic dictates.
much like real vampires. Stop it. So these guys are all mine to play with now. You can see that in the state that they are in, they're all what we call final affliction. So they're all fully yours to control. And when they die, they explode, which is really exciting.
Isn't it technically charmed for a vampire?
Charmed, afflicted, we're using the word afflicted, and then they explode in final affliction. So we're gonna do that loop all over again. So the first guy that hits me is gonna be stunned. So I'm gonna get him for free. And now he's a mindless drone, but if I get him again, he's going to turn into an affliction. So he's inflicting the rest of these guys, and now they're all mine to control, and they will explode on death. So a good way of using all this together with the ultimate, which is a mass sleep spell, is they all go down and they will explode on death. So these, This is a radial spell with duration,
Oh, nice.
and they.
That is some throwing.
That's some fire right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
So they, and you can see that guy went off into the distance. So altogether, what you're doing is you're marking, and when you have your mist wall, as vampirism is known to have a cloud or mist form, when you pass through enemies with this, you afflict them to the final affliction, and you steal their shield and health. So that's sort of your way to stay alive and regain your health and shields. So.
All right. So we have some. I think I saw someone from Russia in chat saying half the guys in Russia are named Vlad.
There you
so
go.
am I. So
Vlad, this one's for you.
he might be pretty happy about this,
Or not.
or not happy.
So
I'm
he's
not
mind
sure.
controlled, and if you do your mist through him, it'll afflict him. So you can also radial afflict. So you can sort of two ways. You can do it single target, or you can do it with your wall, and then they're all yours. And then they'll always explode on death. And this sort of final misting is, it's a radial CC. And these enemies that you kill, the current design is that they're going to give you energy and health on death, just to sort of reap what you've sown with your prey. Yeah. Is that a car alarm?
Sure is.
Yep.
Yep, Scar alarm. Yep,
All right.
right on. Rocking the GPU particles on this guy already, so I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, they do not need to be afflicted for the fourth ability, so that is something to be aware of. So for example, and currently it's still undergoing balance.
Yeah.
We have another question. Actually, plenty of people in the thread were asking about when are we going to do more leaderboard events, or when are we going to have past events become replayable?
Yeah. The past events coming back is still something I'd love to do because there's so much character building in those.
Yep.
Especially like
Too
3
bad.
years ago now.
Yeah.
There were some really great events we ran with like Alid and Ruck and those guys. I'd love to bring that stuff back in some replayable form. Generally now we're getting better at when we do events, making them as a replayable thing that comes back in a cycle.
Ghouls and Plaguestar have, and the Acolytes even have all come back.
Yeah, so as we're doing new events, we're designing them with that in mind.
Yeah, I was reading some forum posts about how there's good lore in those that people can't ever access again if they weren't playing the game.
Like Eyes of Blight, the relays are gone. New player comes, Strata's gone on PC, and they're like,
This is a lot
If we're blowing up a relay every couple weeks,
because we kind of put lore in those because we didn't have cinematic quests, so we try to juice as much as we could in those early ones. So I think I know there's a group of people who have like a bit of a write up about how to bring that back and.
push on that.
To push on that, and I think what was the main issue? There's a couple issues like when does it happen in the timeline? Is it?
Yep.
So some things to get figured out.
Because they were kind of like a timeline of events.
Yeah.
They kind of built on previous stuff they talked about. So.
like the fusion MOA enemy type came through events. And what's actually funny is Oban rework. There's a good question. So we talked earlier in the stream about are we going to review frames, and we had a really interesting conversation just between myself and a couple players actually about like CC used to be king in Warframe. Like Vauban used to be the most played Bastille on nothing compared, and now it's all about damage, and it's like this weird realm where
it's like this thing we keep going up and down.
Yeah, because if something like Sanctuary Onslaught, that's really all about killing as fast as you can, so damage is king. And
so next event we'll have to make sure that CC.
well, I do think we should do some interesting emphasis on CC based stuff. Not out of any bias with Nyx, but no. But we do have a list.
The frame you're making.
Yeah, we've been looking at I think between Vauban and Titania, those are the two most talked about right now from player chorus. Most recently, obviously, a lot of people are talking about Wukong as well.
Yep.
It's
I've heard those threes brought up many times.
So we'll see what we can do. As we said earlier, there's always.
Yeah, I think Pablo was mentioning that Titania's
Soul Swipe.
exalted weapons thing needs buffing.
Yeah, so
those are probably going to get when we do the exalted thing, if we do the exalted thing, when we do the exalted thing.
Yes, her the melee in particular. The Dex Pixie is pretty good, but it's the Dawana.
Yes.
Yes.
The name's always
with the sacrificial ship, so just hopefully you guys like it because there's a lot of people working really hard on it.
Yep. It of course will be free, as all are. You're going to download it. And if you're caught up to the prerequisites, you will just have it.
We're very excited for you guys to play it.
Excited for you guys to play it.
Yep.
Wow.
TennoCon, Tenno Live will be streamed, and there will be streams throughout the day from our Warframe partners. So you can check out those during the day, and then at the end of the night, we'll end with the Tenno Live. And right after, we're doing a kickoff to a GuardianCon stream. Yep. So lots going on.
Oy.
This is the last time we're Devstreaming until after TennoCon. It's kind of
We've
like,
said that about
I know, I'm sorry. It's just so emotional. Well, may our 2B statues and dojos keep us going and working. Good luck, guys. Thank you for your time today. I know you have a shit ton of stuff to do. So, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Fair Tenno. It's the Warframe life, guys. This is year 5.
Yep.
TennoCon year 3. So
crazy.
Yep. Good stuff coming soon.
Yes.
TM.
We love you guys. Bye. Thank you, everyone at DE, for making this possible.
I'm gonna